This is a warning. For the next 60 minutes, your television will be exploding with action and excitement. Do not adjust your set. This is not a test. It's Monster Wars!
Welcome to Monster Wars. Each week we bring you some of the most exciting moments in motorsports, and today should prove no different. Hi, I'm Luann Lee, and if today is the first time you're joining us, well, buckle up, because we've got thrills and spills and big action ahead. Last week, Fred Shafer of Bearfoot put his pedal to the metal and left Pueblo, Colorado victorious. But today is a whole new competition, and with challengers like GraveDigger and Equalizer, it won't be an easy ride. We're in the Houston Astrodome, where thousands of fans have gathered to be part of this event. But before we give you the green light to start watching the races, let's send you out to Jim Davidson.
Thanks, Luann. We're checking out the GraveDigger's qualifying run, and in it, the digger was going full throttle approaching the hairpin turn, and he almost flipped the digger over. He got it up on two wheels, but was able to bring it back down, but that got the crowd up to their feet, and that's where they'll be all night long looking for one of the big bad monsters to go topside. So while the dome is rocking on the inside, I'll be out here on the outside bringing you all the action from the pits, and it'll be here that the drivers come to vent about this hellacious hairpin turn, and it'll do more than challenge these guys. It's the ultimate challenge of driving skill. So grab some cushion and stay posted, because inside the dome, we're about to go ballistic. But right now, let's go to Joe Lowe.
Thank you, Jim. You are absolutely right. This capacity crowd is looking for some wild action. Someone may roll over before the night is over. Let's take a look at this track that the big 10,000-pound monsters have to manipulate on the Goodyear track facts. It all starts right here, over that first hill. The mighty monsters have to gain some speed and then make it all the way down to the hairpin turn. That turn is the most important thing here on this track. They'll have a lot of fun and a lot of tumbles. And then it's lined up straight and over the cars as they sail to the finish line. It's going to be a tough one, and they're lining up for race number one right now. And what a matchup. The GraveDigger, Dennis Anderson, first in qualifying with 12.95 seconds, going against Rob Fuchs and First Blood. He was our sixth qualifier. Look at the time difference there, 18 seconds. GraveDigger is lined up. He's staged. He glances over at First Blood. This is our first look this year at the First Blood truck.
GraveDigger, you shovelhead. Just remember one thing. When you least expect it, expect it. 'Cause when I get through with you, there's only one thing you can be sure of. It'll be my name up in lights, while your name will be in the dirt where it belongs. GraveDigger.
Lined up, staged, and ready for the green light. GraveDigger, First Blood, and GraveDigger first off the line with a great hole shot. He leaves the launching pad, and he's already into that turn. This guy can manipulate this turn, and First Blood has lots of problems. He has to stop back up before he goes over it, and Digger's already across the finish line. Dennis Anderson racks up another win in the GraveDigger. Dennis Anderson powers the truck right through that nosedive and into the turn. Total control. Now he has to line it up straight as he hits the ramp and sails over the finish line. Great job of handling for the GraveDigger. First Blood had nothing but problems. The rear steer did not kick in. The tires going straight in the back. That cost him the win. Now Jim Davidson is in the pits with our winner, the GraveDigger.
Hey, Dennis, nice run against Rob Fuchs in First Blood. You qualified first, and you got lane choice. How important was that to you?
Well, it was real important to me because I like making left-hand turns. You know, when I make a left-hand turn, I'm on the high side of the truck. I can tell when I get a lot of uplift on the truck, and I can just feel the truck for a rollover.
Well, you really mashed it.
Oh, yeah, I did. I mean, I had to win because, you know, First Blood came out with a new design truck. Truck does run good, but, hey, I put him away, and that's what I'm here to do.
We're in Houston, Texas, where they like it big, and a big matchup between Taurus and Invader coming up next.
Invader, a bag of bolts like you makes me nuts. And there's no way in this wild, wild world you're getting past this padre. Invader, load up for an out-and-out showdown.
I am going to show you down, Taurus, and give you a double shot of pain. that'll jolt you right out of the race and right out of your world. Space Cowboy, the suffering starts here.
Back in Houston in the Astrodome, where 60,000 fans are getting ready to see two 10,000-pound monster trucks go at it side by side. Combined almost 3,000 horsepower. The mighty monsters match up this way. Out of Granite City, Illinois, Jackie Willman driving Taurus. He qualified second. And from St. Louis, Missouri, Ray Piorkowski driving Invader, qualifying 7th in the field. They are lined up, and already we can see the right-hand lane seems to be showing a lot of promise for our drivers today. Everybody seems to want to get in that lane, and by qualifying faster than Invader, Taurus picked that one. They are lined up waiting for the green light. The mighty monsters are gone. Taurus with an incredible hole shot. First off that line by almost a full second. He goes into that turn. All four tires stay on the ground. Invader has some problems. He tries to do the 90, and Taurus is already finished. And one has to wonder if that right-hand lane is not the lane of choice as Taurus takes it over Invader by a full 6 seconds. Look at Taurus go. Jackie Willman up in the cockpit of this truck over that second hill. He bounces on third and into this turn. He powers out. Now that's the key. You must power over that third hill and then hit the turn. If you back off early, it's going to cause a lot of problems and you may flip the truck. Invader has lots of problems with the right-hand turn. Maybe the right-hand turn may seem like there's no difference to you. Try your car sometimes. It's very tough to do versus a left-hand turn. But Invader did not do a bad job. The turn helped him, and he may come back later as one of our fastest losers.
Losing is bad enough, but to be overpowered by Taurus is humiliating. Don't be fooled by my disappointing loss. I will punish the rest later.
Pulling up to the starting line, the world champion Bearfoot. Fred Shafer, the veteran pilot's Bearfoot, and he'll be going against Tropical Thunder. Wayne Smozanek out of Jupiter, Florida. Now, Smozanek has a tough row to hoe against the world champion. Bearfoot qualified 4th, while Tropical Thunder turned in 9th in qualifying. Of course, he'd like to have a win, but if that's not possible, he wants to turn in the very best time. As we move on to round 2, we bring back all 5 winners, plus the 3 fastest losers from round number 1. Smozanek puts on a very important piece of equipment there. That's the neck brace. These guys get bounced around a lot, and they all wear a neck brace in competition. We are set and waiting for the green light, and there goes Bearfoot. What happened to Tropical Thunder? Fred Shafer, he's already into the turn, and Thunder hasn't moved yet. He's around, he's heading home, and now Tropical Thunder starts. What did he think? This was a relay race? What is going on with Tropical Thunder? He sat there for a full 4 or 5 seconds before he even started. And now he takes his time. He doesn't seem to have any power at all. He just sort of walks across the set of cars, finishes the race, but my gosh, look, 32 seconds? Tropical Thunder just didn't have it. So he's got lots of problems. I don't know what they are. We'll see if we can find out later. But Bearfoot gets the win. He will definitely move on. And unless something drastic happens in the next few races, I think we've seen the last of Tropical Thunder in the Houston Astrodome tonight. Our next matchup between two great monster trucks with a lot of fans, Carolina Crusher will face the Equalizer.
Equalizer! I've got a massive crush on you, and the mess I'm gonna make will be loads of fun. I'll tear up the track, and you along with it.
Yeah, we'll crush this. So you think you're my equal? You'll discover the truth soon enough. Stick around, Crusher. Maybe you'll learn a lesson or two on what it takes to be a real winner.
Crusher comes up the stage for his big matchup with Equalizer. Gary Porter making sure the truck is in perfect position for the start of this race. Meanwhile, as they stage, let's go back and take a look at Equalizer's qualifying run. He was in that left-hand lane with that right turn. A bounce over the hill, he straightens out, goes around into the turn. See the rear tires? They turn around and then come right back to center as he hits the cars dead on and sails across. That's how to get a great run out of that left-hand lane. Now David Morris is over in the more friendly right-hand lane, and Gary Porter's stuck over in the left. This may make a difference in the outcome of this matchup. The trucks are staged. We wait for the green light, and there they go. They take off like rockets, guys. This is the Astrodome, not Houston Mission Control. Equalizer first into the turn. Watch Carolina Crusher has to back out of it to make the turn. Equalizer opens up the lead, and the win goes to Equalizer. Equalizer and David Morris take advantage of the right-hand lane with that left-hand turn, and he gets the victory over the Carolina Crusher. With David Morris' skill in driving, this just may be Equalizer's night. Let's kick it back to Monster Control and Luann.
We'll be back with more Monster Wars competition in just a moment. But first, we found someone who knows how to find action on and off the track. 25-year-old Alan Pezo of Predator is known to many of his competitors as the quiet type. Well, when Jim Davidson visited him at his home in Michigan, we found a different story. We found a man who definitely knows how to live life in the fast lane.
An animal, even off the racetrack, this Predator lives, breathes, and craves speed. And he guaranteed spending one day with him would be the ride of my life.
Check, baby. Well done.
How you doing, Jim?
Speed breeds, huh?
Love it.
How fast will this puppy go if it's top end?
About 160 miles an hour.
Here we are chilling in Millington, Michigan. We're at your house. You're supposed to be downtime. You're supposed to be relaxing. You get on your little speed demon here and go out for a cruise. What's up with that?
Well, it's a way to get my frustrations out, you know, and still get that major adrenaline flow, you know, in the highway of being free.
Two choices in life. Either you're a big boy or you're not a big boy. I'm going to be a big boy.
Oh, baby! Let's do it, Alan! Alan, are we feeling the need for speed?
Yeah, we are.
Can I open my eyes now?
You can open your eyes now and hang on.
Are your eyes open?
My eyes are closed.
When he's not tearing up the pavement, Alan spends at least 4 days a week prepping his Savage machine for competition.
We stay real busy trying to keep everything running in tip-top shape. And you spend an awful lot of time, you know, maintaining and trying to build spare parts to carry us through the season.
You're a hard-working man.
Yeah, I work hard and I play hard too.
Come on, Jim, let's go!
Get some seatbelts on these four-wheelers. Make sure you're not riding with Alan and John because they really push your tech. Little fender bender.
A little bit.
Alan, man, I can't believe that. What a rush. Here we are whipping through the woods, man. 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, tree limbs crashing everywhere.
Well, did I tell you it was going to be the ride of your life or what?
Yeah, you did not let me down, my friend.
And he hasn't let his monster truck fans down either. A monster truck competitor for over 7 years, not any other time in his career has the Predator pounced more fiercely as he has this year, rising to the top of the monster truck circuit.
It's definitely excitement to beat, you know, all them big name, you know, trucks. And when you do beat them, you know, it makes you feel real good that you finally accomplished something and you're one of the top trucks in the country and you can compete anywhere and still do a good job.
But when the competition on the racetrack ends, Alan Pizo, the Predator, is still running at maximum velocity. You've always got your hand on some kind of throttle, don't you, Alan?
Yeah, it's in my blood and I love to go fast.
Predator. It doesn't get any wilder.
Let's see how wild Alan Pezo's Predator gets in the Houston Astrodome. For round number 1, race number 5, the winner of this one faces Equalizer in round number 2. And Predator, qualifying 5th, will take on Mark Bendler's Kodiak. Kodiak qualified a disappointing 10th, but he's been working on the truck. We may see an entirely different stance out of him this time. Again, he is in that left-hand lane. He goes against the Predator. Both trucks are staged. We wait for the start. Green light will signify the start. There they go. Cutting a good line is the Predator. Mark Bendler's Kodiak has trouble on the line. Predator is over and going into the turn. The rear steer kicks in. Kodiak goes into the turn. He has to back out of it to make it, but it's too late. Predator is already across the finish line. Kodiak was with him up until the turn. Predator did a flawless job in maneuvering this turn. The rear steer kicks in here, takes it around. The tires return to center and sail him across the finish line. Predator will face Equalizer in round number 2.
Want to try it again sometime, Kodiak? I don't think so. From you, I've heard nothing but screams and whiskers, just the way I like it. Equalizer, you're next. My possum power will show you who's boss.
Welcome back to Monster Wars. There's more action to come, but before we get rolling into the next round, let's update you on how our top 8 drivers advanced. Bearfoot, GraveDigger, Taurus, Equalizer, and Predator all won in the first round, advancing them into round 2. Barefoot came in with the fastest time of 14.09. Along with their win, they added 10 points to their qualifying score. Rounding out our top 8, Carolina Crusher, Invader, and Kodiak were our 3 fastest losers. Over the past few weeks, one thing has remained consistent with these monster truck competitors. They are nothing but wild and fearless on the track. So we decided to take a closer look at these wild Equalizer and Predator. Let's send it out to Joe Lowe, who always makes my heart sing.
Thank you, Luann. Boy, these two trucks have thrilled this crowd so far, and now they're matched up. The 10,200-pound Equalizer from Springfield, Tennessee, going against the Michigan truck, Alan Pezo's Predator. Predator weighs a little lighter than Equalizer. They're both coming up the stage. Now you know which guy has the preferred lane. It's David Moore's Equalizer.
What shall I do today to make the Predator pay? Maybe I'll show him a little double trouble. And give this black cat some bad luck of his own.
Wow! Aha! Equalizer! When I get finished with you, they'll scratch you off the list. Because I've got a ferocious, rawr appetite. And once I get you in my grasp, oh, I'll savor the victory.
They're staged. Let it happen. At the start, Equalizer cuts a great light. Predator is caught napping. He's going to have to work hard to catch the Equalizer. Into the turn. Equalizer's first there. They come around. Equalizer turns it on. He buries the Predator. David Morris drives the Equalizer to victory and drives Predator down into the ground and out of the competition. Jim Davidson is standing by with David Morris in the Houston Astrodome.
David, a great run against Alan Pezo and the Predator. You put him away. You took the right lane. He's in the left lane. How important is lane choice to you?
The lane choice is going to be real important because I want to get that left-hand turn where I can see where I'm going.
Now tell me about the run against the Predator.
Okay, I just had to go real hard over those dirt mobiles, but not too hard so I could get the control to make the turn at the end.
Round number 2, race number 2. The action doesn't get any better than this. Carolina Crusher faces the GraveDigger coming up next.
Judgment Day for you, Crusher, is next. And I'm going to punish you to the living end. Go ahead, GraveDigger. Make my day. I'm gonna let my fingers do the walking through your gruesome guts.
And the matchup. The crowd is on their feet, and this is only our second round of action. Dennis Anderson driving the GraveDigger, and Carolina Crusher with the pilot, Gary Porter. Both trucks are very evenly matched, as the spec sheets tell us. A 557 for Crusher and a 540 for the GraveDigger, and both have installed new engines for this Houston event. Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher in qualifying seemed to have some kind of problems, and Jim Davidson caught up with him and asked him to explain them.
All right, well, in qualifying, we're thinking that the fuel pump went out on it. So that was just a guess. We come back, we changed fuel pump. It seemed to run okay. That run there, I just got a little crossed up in the turn, and that cost me the race. But I think the truck's okay now.
Crusher lost in round number 1. He's back in round 2 as the fastest loser. Let's see if he can make it up as he goes against the Digger. On the start, both trucks cut a great light as they come around and go into the turn. Digger with a slight lead. He's already there. And Carolina Crusher backs out of it. The Digger, whoa! Dennis Anderson almost turns it over, but saves it. An incredible feat of driving.
Another victim found its way into my perilous pit, and it drives me wild. Crusher thought he would win in the crunch. How wrong he was. Another one bites the dust. And Crusher, I've got a special place just for you with your name on it.
You say you don't believe your eyes? Let's see it again. The GraveDigger comes up and over the cars and across the finish line, and then the rear end comes around. He almost turns the GraveDigger over, but Dennis Anderson drives it through and he saves the Digger. How did he do it? Jim Davidson's with him.
Hey, Dennis, come here, man. You're working so hard out there against the Carolina Crusher, you almost turned the GraveDigger over.
No joke, man. I tell you, we were just checking out one side of the truck there. I scrubbed the rims right on the ground. Hey, I don't know why I wasn't a goner. I guess it was 50% driving skill, 50% luck, but, man, I didn't have one choice left. That was to turn into the rollover, hammer on the motor, and it worked. I couldn't believe it.
Well, you're saying 50-50. You're a walking highlight reel. I've told you that before. You continue to impress everybody out there. How you recovered from that one is incredible.
Hey, you aren't kidding about that, man, but, hey, it's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last.
Monster Wars fans, who can forget earlier in the season, Lebanon Valley, New York, when the same thing happened, the rear end came around, Dennis Anderson rolled The incredible story is that he came back later on that night and won the entire competition. Back in Houston, we're staging for more round 2 action as Taurus takes on Kodiak. Mark Bendler's Kodiak has been having some problems. The truck weighing in at slightly more than 10,400 pounds, pushing out 1,200 plus horses. Taurus, a new breed of truck, right in at the minimum level of 10,000 pounds with 1,300 screaming horses. Taurus driven by Jackie Willman. Mark Bendler up in Kodiak. Willman has Taurus over in the right-hand lane. And a great hole shot for Taurus. Mark Bendler's playing catch-up in Kodiak. Taurus is already into the turn. He comes around as Kodiak just goes into it. Kodiak cannot catch Taurus as Taurus gets the win. Taurus is already heading to the pits to cool down when Kodiak's just finishing. A 4-second lead for Taurus.
Monster craze is here, and not just in the Astrodome, but it seems that everyone wants to get into the act. More and more people are trading in their cars and Jeeps and buying trucks. The Ford Michigan plant is doing their best to keep up with the huge demand, but for a little extra help, we sent Jim Davidson to the assembly line.
So 10 miles out of Detroit, I'm in Michigan. I've been hanging with monster trucks all year long. I figure, why not see how they're made? I'm going to the Ford Michigan truck plant. I'm going in.
So I'm inside the Ford Michigan truck plant. This is my man, John Corrigan. John, say hey to everybody. Hello, how you doing today? I got my safety shades on. We'll be styling together. I'm psyched, John. Let's do it.
Let's go see how we build trucks.
Pedals by thread at this point in time. No tires, no engine, no steering column. This is like every abandoned car you'll ever see in New York City. But this one's going the other way. It's actually getting built. It's nasty. Not a person on it. Automated. Hey! How does it know where to go? Automation. It's very impressive. Go ahead. Make my day. All right, it's time to remove the nut, right? Uh-oh, I'm going up and over here on the side. There you got it. John, if I'm part of the union now and I just pulled out this nut, what kind of cash am I making today? Pretty good money?
You're making excellent money. Excellent.
I'm removing bolts and I'm making good cash. You didn't just ruin the muffler on that one, did you?
Nope.
So, why is it that you just don't pick them up and slide them over there and put them on there? You're a big guy.
Do that. A lot of people have back problems.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God! Somehow this job should be easier, shouldn't it? Let's see, I put a couple bolts in, I helped assemble the engine, helped put some tires on, I helped turn the chassis over, and I feel kind of proud. Obviously, the dilemma is to get it from there to here. Yeah, without putting it through the window. They said it couldn't be done, but I have put together an entire Ford truck. John, can I drive it out of here?
Absolutely.
I'm driving it out of here. So after a long day at the Ford plant, the finished product. You never know, too, if you're driving a Ford one day, it may be the one that I helped build.
Did Jim say Ford? Well, here comes a Ford. Staging right now is the Ford Invader. And he has got his work cut out for him, as Ray Piorkowski will take the Invader against the world champion Bearfoot. Bearfoot, piloted by Fred Shafer. The truck, 10,000 pounds with a Keith Black Hemi to power it with 1,500 horses. The 11,000-pound, much heavier Invader has 1,300 horses powered by a Chevy to get it across that finish line. Can he do it? We'll find out. The Invader takes on the world champion Bearfoot here in Monster Wars, the Houston Astrodome. This is definitely going to be a showdown. Bearfoot has that preferred right-hand lane with the left turn. They stage, they go. Barefoot gets an entire almost 1 second hole shot over Invader. Did Invader have problems or was he sleeping? Into the turn. Barefoot's already around. Invader's just approaching it. Barefoot wins it. Whoa, look out! Barefoot almost loses it. after the finish. Bearfoot almost turns it on its side. Fred Shafer saves it. He waves to the crowd. Look at this turn. He's in here. He's heading for home. Maybe a little oversteering, but he is across the finish line. And now comes the problem. Look out, Fred! Bearfoot's on all fours again.
Fred, a great job going up against the Invader, but almost cost you there in that hairpin turn. You almost turned it over.
Yeah, thank you. When you're going around those corners like that, what you're trying to do is get as straight as you can and accelerate. I wasn't quite straight. The truck landed. I had to steer out of it. It was a close call.
Well, it was a good job of driving. Now, coming out of that, any damage to the truck?
Not that I know of.
Invader lost it on the line. For some reason, he just didn't start when he got the green light, and it was all over at the starting line. He succumbs to the power of Bearfoot.
He may have won the race, but not the war. His fate should be that of any wounded animal, to be destroyed. You haven't heard the last yet from Invader. I'll be back.
Hi, and welcome back to Monster Control. In just a moment, we'll be set for the semifinals. And for GraveDigger and Equalizer, it's been a smooth road into the semis. They'll meet in what's expected to be a close matchup, and Fred Shafer's Bearfoot will be paired up against Taurus. The hairpin turn these trucks face today is one of the tougher tracks on the circuit. Safety is an issue at every race, but here in Houston, the danger of this track has been a constant topic. Jim Davidson has more.
At the end of round 2, we've seen a lot of guys working hard, a lot of guys laying the envelope wide open, going up on 2 wheels. The semis can only provide more of that action because everybody knows they got to step it up. There's an edge in the air right now. All the drivers are back in the pits talking about how choppy it is around the turn, how the dirt's breaking up, about how their tires are having to work overtime and how they're steering. A lot of these guys, they want to make a left-hand turn and aren't getting the chance to do that. In the semis, they're really going to have to crank it up.
And crank it up, they do. Here comes Bearfoot, the world champion. He's drawn the dreaded left-hand lane, the lane that has the gremlins that's caused problems for everybody that's been there so far in this matchup. Can he take out Taurus? Can he defeat those left-hand gremlins? We'll find out. Jackie Willman takes Taurus around, and Fred Shafer has problems in Bearfoot. He cannot get the truck to start. He's calling over help. He's going to go down and take a look for himself. We have 2 tow trucks there trying to get the world champion ready for this event. Taurus sits on the line. He waits for Bearfoot. Fred has to come down to see if he can get something going in this truck. One has to wonder if that earlier race against Invader caused the problems when Fred Shafer came across the finish line and then almost lost it. The truck on its side and then pulls back around. All that bouncing around, that would cause problems in anybody's truck. And Taurus will have to face another challenger. Bearfoot's not coming back.
I've got a leg up on you, Bearfoot. And on this frontier, nobody wrangles me, partner. Yeah!
Well, Taurus, prepare for your doom. You might be riding high, but I can run you out of town. I warned Bearfoot not to rule the Invader out, and look what happened to him. Taurus, you're next, and you're history!
And there goes Bearfoot. He's being pulled out, and in comes the Invader. Invader, Ray Piorkowski, takes the truck back onto the track. He's in that left-hand lane to take Bearfoot's place against Jack Willman's Taurus. Taurus Invader, the matchup set to go. One of these trucks goes to the finals. Taurus, average time of 14.71 on this track. Invader's time, 19.68. Now, Invader is a much heavier truck, a much older truck. But can this veteran driver outpower the young Jackie Willman? Jackie looks over. We wait for the green light. And showtime in the Houston Astrodome. Invader, right off the line, and Taurus stops. Taurus cannot get started. Invader. Now Taurus gets going. Can he catch up? Invader's already around the turn. He may be. Yes, he will be the first truck to win in the left-hand lane all night long. And Taurus has problems. He loses to Invader. It happened on the line. A puff of smoke out of Taurus, and he just sits there. The truck dies. Meanwhile, Invader is going down the track. It's back to the pits for Taurus and to the finals for Invader. He will face the winner of our second semifinal round. Matchup between Equalizer and the GraveDigger. The GraveDigger and Dennis Anderson have done a super job all night long.
Equalizer, you're going to a place where the sun never shines. A place where the good and the bad turn ugly. Ooh, try bailing yourself out of this one, GraveDigger. The harm you've caused to others will come back on you twofold. First, I'll beat you, then send you to a fiery hell. It's time for you to pay your respects.
The two heavy metal monsters come to stage for our second semifinal round, one knowing they're going to the finals, the other one to the showers. The GraveDigger, Dennis Anderson, average time of 13.85 seconds on this track tonight, and Equalizer, an average time of 15.83. David Morris powering the Equalizer, and Dennis Anderson up in the cockpit of GraveDigger. Both trucks want this win very, very badly. Who's going to do it? Who will take on Invader in our finals? There they go! Pretty even at the start. Equalizer with a bit of a lead. We follow Dennis Anderson's GraveDigger up and around. They go into the turn, and Equalizer has the lead. Equalizer wins it. Equalizer takes out the Digger. What happened to GraveDigger? Well, a slow start caused him to try to play catch-up, and he was doing great until right here.
Yeah, I piled into that last turn pretty hard. Came over the hump, and I was charging the turn. The truck rocks up, and I've been having a problem with it tipping up sometimes, you know, and I didn't cut the corner quite right. And Equalizer, he beat me in the turn. That's where, because I felt like I had him pretty much beat down the straightaway, but the race was lost right there in the turn.
And remember, Equalizer did it in the left-hand lane. He goes a little wide into the turn, but he powers out and takes out the Digger. Our final will be between the Equalizer and the Invader, and we'll have that matchup when we come back. It's come down to the finals with the truck that really shouldn't be here, Invader. Invader has had a tough night tonight. He lost to Taurus. He lost in round 2 to Bearfoot, and then Bearfoot could not start. He defeated Taurus in the semifinals. Equalizer and David Morris has been plugging on all night long. He defeated Carolina Crusher, then took out the Predator, and finally, the GraveDigger in the semis. He's worked his way up, and now he faces Invader, and there they go! Invader with a great hole shot. Equalizer has a little bit of a lead, and now Invader takes the lead. Going into the turn, they're neck and neck. And oh, Invader turns it over. Equalizer gets the win. Equalizer wins. Piorkowski turns the Invader over. He's working his way out of the truck. He's okay. He's okay, but he lost the race, and he is one upset driver. Invader had a good shot at taking out the Equalizer and winning it all. And then the dreaded turn. The left lane gremlin strike right here, and he turns the Invader over. Equalizer is gone. He's out of there. Invader is still rolling. The front windshield comes out. Equalizer, David Morris wins in the Houston Astrodome.
Well, all right. This is where I belong, at the top. And while I'm here, I'd like to thank those responsible, like my good old chap Taurus. And, of course, GraveDigger for stepping down a few notches. Oh, and how can I forget Invader? And his lack of expertise powered him right out of the race. Thank you, one and all. Hey-ya!
Did we have a great show for you or what? The crowd is on their feet in Houston, and rightfully so. This was a dynamite race from start to finish. Our finals, Invader and Equalizer. Both trucks neck and neck. Equalizer first into the turn. Invader playing catch-up, and then, whoa, the rollover. And Equalizer takes it on home. Jim's with our winner.
Oh, David, what a final. You up against the Invader. It was a great race. Tell me about it.
Well, you know, I'm going down through the dirt mobiles trying to preserve the truck. I feel like I can take the win if I can just get down there and get around that turn and then just matter for everything she's got.
At any point in time, did you know that Ray had actually turned his over?
No, I had no idea, you know, until the race was I got to the other end. I turned around, looked, whoops, he's upside down.
Well, listen, man, I think I'd have been looking in the rearview mirror to see where he was.
No, you know, I'm just worried about getting across that finish line first.
Well, it's got to make you feel good that he was working so hard to catch your backside that he actually rolled it.
Yeah, it's a great feeling to take a win any way you can get them.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
David Morris and Equalizer have torn up this track and made it look easy. He's accumulated 47 points. Let's see how he falls in the overall point standings. GraveDigger has kept a solid lead for first place in the standings with 125 points. Equalizer's win is good enough to land him in second. He's followed by Bearfoot to round out the top three. But breathing down his neck, Taurus keeping close. Bringing up the rear, Tropical Thunder and First Blood. But it's still early in the season and it's anybody's war. So be sure and join us next week for the hottest action on television.